Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have the 1 week review of the Finalmouse 10th edition and the medium versus small comparison video. So let's just jump right to it. So I've had both of these mices for about a week now. I've been using it since the 28th, which is last Sunday I got it. And I've been using the medium and the small Starlight 10th edition the entire week. I've had it. These two are the only mice I've been using. I've not touched my G Pro Superlight since then. It's been sitting at the same spot. It just doesn't feel the same as these mices, and I'll go over it in this video. So let's just go over some of the basic features. If you don't know, the TenZ. This is the Finalmouse Starlight Pro TenZ edition, and these are made out of magnesium alloy, so they are extremely light for a mouse. We're about to test it real quick later on in the video. We're about to weigh the copies I have. So the shells are made out of magnesium alloy, and the in-hand feels are so good compared to plastic mice. It just feels like heaven and hell difference. That's all I could say. And so for my small one, I have a little bit of rattle. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. I think there's like a little cable inside that's sitting kind of weird, so it's like has a little rattle, but it doesn't affect me at all in game or everyday use. And my medium doesn't have any rattles or any build quality issues. I can squeeze it. There's no squeeze on the medium either. Just the medium has a little bit of rattle inside. I think it's just the cable that's inside, maybe like a battery cable that's loose. So other than that, there's no build quality issues. Both of my scroll wheels are centered perfectly. So here's the medium centered perfectly, and here's the small scroll wheel centered perfectly. So I have no scroll wheel off center issue, and yeah. So a lot of people complain that their Finalmouse Starlights don't have centered scroll wheel, but none of my copies have that issue. So not a problem for me. And let's talk about the body and the clicks of the mouse. So the clicks are super crisp compared to like a plastic mice, like a G Pro Superlight or the Death Adder V3 Pro that I've had. These clicks are so good. So these clicks are kind of heavier compared to the plastic mice, and which makes them so satisfying to click, and you don't spray as much in game. So in my Valorant games, I was spraying less and less. I can put up some clips. It was just me tapping heads all the time. I didn't want to spray at all. I didn't want to hold on these clicks. These clicks are purely for like taps and bursts only. They feel so nice in hand. They come back up. They are very responsible, and they're just so crisp. And the side buttons the same. They're a little bit mushier than the main buttons. They're not as heavy as the main buttons click. We can do a little sound test. Here's the medium Starlight. Here's the main clicks. Here's the side buttons. So it's the same for the small one too. The side buttons are a little bit mushier than the main buttons, but I didn't really affect me in game. I felt just as fine because the side buttons are bound to abilities. They're not as important as the main clicks, and I felt fine using the side buttons. And the scroll wheel clicks, here's the sound test scroll wheel clicks. They're very crisp at all. They sound more like the main clicks compared to the side button clicks, so I think the main buttons and the scroll wheel buttons are using the same switches. Maybe the side buttons have a different type of switch. And I have one issue is the side button clicks, they get activated when you like push your finger from left to right. So if you just push it to the side, I don't know if you guys can see, like from the side, instead of clicking down straight, you push it from left to right, they'll get activated. But this won't happen when you push from right to left. So when you're pushing left to right like this, they will get activated. The scroll wheel click button will get activated. I don't know if that's an intended feature or that's just a design flaw. I don't know, but it never really didn't really notice it in game. I just noticed it while I was playing around with the mice. I kind of noticed it. And these stuff are the same for both the medium and the small. The clicks are the same. Scroll wheel is the same. The clicks are all the same. The only difference is just the sides, and I think they have the same battery life also. So let's talk about the weight. So we have a scale right here, and let's just weigh the medium first. Let's see how heavy my copy is. Let's put the medium on there. You can see it says 49 grams. So the medium is 49 grams, and the small is 45 grams. So the small is 45, the medium is 49 grams. They are both in the 45 to 50 grams weight. There's only like a 4 grams of weight difference. So you actually do feel the weight difference in hand, even though it's 4 grams because of the shape. These two shapes have so different in hand feels. So the medium, so the small is much smaller than the medium. Even though it's only 4 grams difference in hand, it feels so much lighter. It feels like a solid like 10 grams lighter because of the shape. Like it's really small, so you can kind of just like grab it like this, and you can fingertip it and claw it. I personally claw both of these mices, and when I use the small, it just feels so light. Like the 180s, 360s, my flicks are very, very light and fast. So like, if I can roll some aim lab clips, they're especially grid shot. It's like it's perfect for grid shot, like the fast flicks and stuff. I don't feel it, and deathmatch. Oh my god, this small feels so good in deathmatch. Like if you deathmatch in Valorant or CS:GO, this is like a go tier mouse, because the 180s, the 360, the big degree flicks are so easy to flick with the small, because you can just like lift it up effortlessly compared to the other plastic mice or even the medium. The medium is also very light, and I claw the medium as well, but when I'm deathmatching, it doesn't feel as nice as the small. So I think I'm keeping the small, and I'm decided to sell the medium. So if you are interested in buying the medium, make sure to contact me on Twitter, link in bio. So yeah, the medium doesn't feel as nice in deathmatch compared to the small, but compared to like a plastic mice, like a G Pro Superlight, it's just so much better. Like the 180s, the 360s, every time you need to lift your mouse up and readjust, it's just so much better compared to any other mice because of the weight and the in hand feel, and because of the magnesium alloy. Like if you leave it on for like 5 minutes on your desk, it becomes super cold. So like whenever you like regrip it, like it's kind of like at night when you switch the size of your pillow and you have that cool side, it's kind of like that feeling. So whenever you hold the mouse, it's kind of like really cool. And so the size comparison, this medium is like a Viper. It's kind of like as big as a Viper, and the small is just much smaller. And in hand, you can feel the difference a lot. Like maybe on video you can't see that much of a difference, but the small feels really small in hand, and I kind of like it because I feel very controlled over the mice. Like I can lift it up whenever, readjust. And with the medium, I also feel very controlled, but compared to the small, it feels a little bit clunky. But I think in game, the medium performs a little bit better than the small, like without death matching, like just actual games. Because let's say you need to hold an angle for a long time, or you need to have like perfect crosshair placement, then the medium would perform better than the small compared to the small's lightweight and small size. Because this is much better for grid shot. This is much better for six shot, where you have more consistent aim compared to the flicky, shaky aim with the small. So, and let's talk about the mouse feet. They're both rocking the same mouse feet, and they're both perfect. I didn't have to change it. I have the stock feet on for a week. I have a Artisan Zero soft, and they're pretty fast on the pad. I've had this pad for a long time. I've never cleaned it, so they feel pretty fast. I think the small is a little bit faster than the medium because of the 4 gram weight difference. And let's talk about the battery life. So I've been mainly using the small from the 28th, and it died on me 2 days ago. So on Monday the 5th. So that's 8 days I've been using the small intensively, like 8 hours a day, and I don't know if it came 100% charged or 50% charged from the factory when I received it. If it's 50% charged, then that lasted me around 64 hours because I was using 8 hours a day for 8 days straight. So that lasted me 64 hours. If it's 50% charged, that means the 100% charged, it could last you 128 hours of use. If it came in 100% charged from the factory, then that means one charge could last you 64 hours of use. I think the battery life is good. It's better than I expected. I expected to be I had to charge it like every other day or something like that, but no, you can get away with charging once a week if you're using it 8 hours a day like me. And I think the Superlight's battery is a little bit better. I think if I use it 8 hours a day, I can get away with 2 weeks instead of 1 week. So it's like half as good as the Superlight maybe. And so that's the battery life. The medium hasn't died yet because I haven't been using the medium much. I've been using the small a lot, like a lot of deathmatch, a lot of aim labs, and I just personally really like my small. Maybe because of my hand size is pretty big. I think it's 7 inches to 4 inches wide, 7 inches long, 4 inches wide hand, and I love the small. Like when I claw grip it, it just sits perfectly in my hand. It's just a tiny little mouse. I think for majority of the people, the medium would be a better fit because you can just have more freedom with it instead of like kind of holding a claw like me or fingertip it. So now let's jump right into the use cases for these two sizes. So the small, I prefer for people with medium to small size hands, and for medium to high sense. And you have to be clawing or fingertipping the mouse because you cannot, unless you have really small hands, you cannot palm the small. It feels really awkward. Claw, like a aggressive claw like me, and fingertip is perfect for the small, no matter of your hand size. Those two grips should feel awesome, and especially if you have medium and high sense. Low sense, I would prefer the medium more. So if you have medium to low sense, actually the medium is good for all sensitivities, but compared to the small, it's a little bit medium to low sense style. And you can claw this or palm it. If you have medium to small hands, you can palm it. But if you have all size hands, you can claw it, no problem. But you can't really fingertip it. Like the medium, you can't really fingertip. You can only claw or palm it. But you can kind of relax claw it too. So you can relax claw, aggressive claw, and palm the medium one. Where the small one, you can only aggressive claw or fingertip. So yeah, so if depends on your hand size, your grip style, and your sensitivity. I think for majority of people, the medium would make sense, but for me personally, I like the small because I have medium to high sense. I'm 800 DPI, 0.45 in Valorant, so that's medium to high sense, and I do an aggressive claw when I grip my mouse. So small is for me, but for majority of people, I think the medium would make more sense. So that's about it. Both are amazing mice. These two are probably not probably, by far the best mice on the market. Compared to any plastic mice, it just doesn't matter. Like you can compare to the G Pro Superlight. Yes, a lot of pros use it. Yes, I've had it for 2 years. But holding this mice and after holding these two, you just want to throw this in the garbage. Like not even lying. Like no cap. You just want to throw this in the garbage. Like this feels so clunky. It feels plasticky. It feels cheap compared to the magnesium alloy. It feels like great product. Feels very sturdy in hand, and the weight just makes so much difference. So these two, I think the small for me is number one mice of all time, and the medium is a close second, and then maybe the G Pro Superlight, the Death Adder V3 Pro, and then the Viper V2 Pro stuff comes in after these two. So magnesium alloy mice, TenZ edition, number one mice of all time, best mouse, instant radiant, instant high score on aim labs. If you don't have these, then I don't know what you're doing. If you are serious about gaming, and if you use your mice 8 hours a day, then you have to have one of these. Like it's just, I don't know what you're doing if you're still rocking a plastic mice. Like plastic mice needs to go. Magnesium alloy is the way. So that's it for the review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hit me up on Twitter if you are looking to buy a medium Superlight Pro TenZ edition. So I'll be selling this medium on my Twitter, and I will be keeping the small. And this Pro Superlight is probably going into the garbage or the storage unit whenever, I don't know, hopefully never have to use it. But yeah, and I will be streaming more on my Twitch channel. Make sure to follow me there and drop a subscription for my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. I have my TikTok linked in bio also, and I'll be posting a setup tour, like a room tour video soon, because I have the Wooting 60HE, and I have the Artisan Zero, and now I have the Superlight TenZ. I feel like this is probably the in-game FPS setup that you can get So I will probably post a room tour and setup tour video soon. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys next time. Peace.